Face the long way, have some blocks. Separate your feet hips width, take your hands to your hips, bend your legs, and take the blocks and drape yourself down. And you may need to play, like you may need to bring the blocks to the sides of your feet. You may not feel so good in this, and you may need to be out a little further. You may not need the blocks, and you may be able just to fold here and hang in ragdoll. Yeah. Yes. Whenever you forward fold, you bend your knees significantly because your hamstrings are a gateway to your lower back. And the back side of your body wraps all the way around. So we have to take extra care. So your hands are either draped on the floor or on blocks, somewhere on the ground. They are tented on the floor or on those blocks, or your hands are bound and maybe you're kind of hanging in a rag doll, but you're folding in half right here and you're letting your head drop below your heart. And some of us have very, very tight hamstrings, so the knees can have a significant bend. It can almost feel like you're almost sitting down in a chair. And just breathe. Good, so bring more weight forward into the balls of your feet, claw the mat with your hands, and Jody already kind of did this, but step your feet out wide. So now you're gonna take a wide straddle. So this is Dande Mana Bikata Pada Paschimottanasana. I barely know my name, but I remember the Sanskrit to that pose. Come to your fingertips here, have your blocks nearby. Once again, if you need to elevate yourself, you elevate yourself. You can even be up high on your forearms, but I need you to fold down the center here. And if you can grab onto opposite elbows, that's great. Yeah. And just to keep in mind, if your head is touching the ground, that's an indication that your stance is a little too long. You need to tighten it up a little. Pay attention to your weight transferring forward into the balls of your feet so your hips can get real heavy up. If you grabbed opposite elbows, just switch the grip. Just switch the grip. So you're like in a ragdoll version of a standing separate leg stretching. Yep. You're breathing yourself in half. Yep. And you'll notice things start to come up. Maybe you're not so happy in this pose. Just breathe and let go. Don't worry about straightening the legs. A couple more cycles of breath. We're going to move on in a second. Good. So drop the hands down, come to your fingertips, find extension right here, really, really long spine. Slide a block to the center. It can go any direction. The right palm's going to go flat. The left hand's going to come to the sacrum, and you're going to peel to the left. And just going to peel open into a little easy twist. If your shoulders are a little crunchy this morning, just have your hand on the flat part of your back. Elevate the right hand, everybody, so you're not dumping down. I like to go kind of high with the block. And look sideways. And as you do this, try not to sit back into your hamstrings, bring more weight forward. You may need to take a soft bend behind your knees. And just breathe open here. Good, come back to center and just switch the grip. The left palm's gonna come, the right hand's gonna come to the flat part. The hand on the sacrum is just gonna give you information. Bend a little behind your knees, bring your weight forward, and maybe you can stack the shoulder up if you're open enough. If not, don't worry about that. Think about alignment in your body, side body nice and long. Grounding yourself using the outer blades of your feet so all the weight's not dumping into your arches. Good, release both hands. Just move your blocks to the front. You're gonna crawl your hands over to your left ankle, grab from behind the ankle with both hands, and you're gonna fold. Now my right leg's gonna stay straight, but I'm gonna bend my left leg as much as I need so I can draw my torso towards the left quadricep. And just gonna breathe here and hold. Find extension in the spine. Don't let your head pop up yet. Crawl back through center. Crawl over towards the right. Grab behind the ankle with both your hands. My left leg is gonna stay super straight, and I'm gonna bend my right leg as much as I need so I can pull my torso down over the front of the thigh, let the head go. Everybody's creating these shapes in their bodies, and everyone's gonna look slightly different. Good, release the hands. You're just gonna crawl, stay real low. Your right foot is forward and your left leg is back. You're just in a low lunge. And then from here, just slide back to your first down dog. So just gonna come back to your first down dog right here. Bend behind your knees as much as you need. Let your head go. Take up a lot of space on your mat this morning. What I notice in my own personal practice is my drishti in the beginning of the practice, like I'm all over the place. It's hard to focus. It's hard to concentrate. I'm having a million thoughts. So if that's happening to you, know that that's very, very normal because this is a moving meditation and it takes a little bit. So just cut yourself some slack. Draw attention to little things in your body. Maybe it's the spreading of your toes. Maybe it's the lifting of your hips. Maybe it's the extension of the back side of the body. Roll forward to plank. So from down dog to plank, stack your body neatly and nicely and lead with your chest. Yes. When you lead with your chest, you're not leading with your head or your neck. Perfect. Stack up nicely here. These look great. You can always modify with your knees down. That's not a problem at all. And I recommend listening to your body if you need those little subtle modifications. Okay. Encourage you to bring more weight forward on your tippy toes. Take the round out of the spine. Nice, Katie. Stay with this. Contract the thighs, hug the outer ankles in. Draw the pit of the belly in and up, and fix your eyes on one spot. Find a lot of extension from the heels to the crown of the head and the crown of the head to the heels. Arms straight, legs straight, hips up and back dog. So now you kind of found your sweet spot where your hands and your feet are in their spot. Roll forward to plank, roll forward to plank, all the way forward. Yep. Good, you're gonna drop your knees directly down and they're gonna be behind you this morning. So a little behind you. Good, lift your feet up, cross your ankles. Bring your weight a little forward and lower halfway to a supported push-up. If you're not taking push-ups today, just hold here and breathe. Right. If you are taking push-ups, find a spot that you know you can maintain a nice long neck extension, belly drawing in. Straighten your arms and meet us in a supported plank. Good. Try it again. Lower halfway to a supported push-up. Remind yourself that less is more. You can take micro movements and get plenty from this. Re-straighten your arms to a supported plank. Try it again. Lower halfway. Just a little bit will get you where you need to go. Feel the firmness of your hands. Re-straighten your arms. Supported plank. One more. Here we go, lower halfway, supported push-up. Re-straighten your arms, supported plank. Uncurl your toes, activate your knees, plank position. Zip yourself back up. Lead with your chest. Lower halfway to one regular push-up. I got you. One regular push-up. Plank position, hips up and back, down dog. Look to the top of the mat. You can step this morning. You can float if you feel energized. You could crawl. That's another option. It's always a safe option. Long spine when you get to the top of the mat. Hands can rest in the front of the shins. You don't want to dangle like a wet noodle. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Anchor yourself. Reach big through your arms and your fingertips. Drag your hands to prayer at heart and drop your arms. So just ground yourself for a second. Allow yourself to feel the practice. Yes, arms stretch straight up towards the sky, look up, big. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your weight carry you forward, let your head go. Come to the fingertips and prepare you. Step to plank, step to plank. Lower halfway to a push-up chaturanga. Lead with your heart and chest for up dog or baby cobra if back is sensitive. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Look to the top of the mat, step, or float your feet there. So just want to arrive really seamlessly, effortlessly. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. Let your head go. There you go. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. Again, we go. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. Reach up through those fingertips, dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips and prepare you. Step to plank. If you feel springy and you want to hop, reminding you that the hop goes to a low push-up chaturanga. If not, you lower. Up dog pulls you through, or baby cobra works great. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Look to the top, step or float your feet there this morning, just moving easily. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer, drop your arms. One more like these. This arm stretch straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bent knees, let your head go. Come to the fingertips and prepare. Step to plank or float through your version of a vinyasa. Meet me in a downward facing dog. Meet me in a downward facing dog. Once you get to downward facing dog, land your right foot forward into a low lunge, be on your fingertips, drop your back knee on an angle. It's good to have blocks if you feel like your arms are straight or you just feel super tight. So all you're gonna do here is begin to crawl your hands back and straighten your legs. It looks like this. Left knee's gonna stay straight up and down, left toes are crawled into the mat. So you're gonna do this a few times. You're gonna lead with your chest, you're gonna crawl your hands forward, you're gonna bend your knee, and it's like a little up dog in your chest. And then you're gonna crawl your hands back, and it's like a little, it's almost like cat-cow. You're gonna round your spine and fold over your right leg, maybe the foot can flex. You're gonna crawl out, bend the knee, lift the heart, lift the chest. You're gonna exhale the breath, crawl back into yourself, straighten the leg, flex, and hug in. One more time. You're gonna walk out, bend the leg, lead with your heart and chest, do it slow, and then you're gonna crawl into yourself and round and flex. You're gonna walk back out, rebend the leg, activate your back leg, and the knee's gonna lift. You're on your fingertips here. Grip your right hip in strong. Sweep your arms out and up, come up to a crescent lunge. Bend heavy into the standing right leg, hip points move forward, arms energize up towards the sky. Fix your eyes on a raindrop falling from the sky. That's what I can see right here. Breathe. Ground yourself, make a connection to your breath and just the feeling of holding the pose. Slide your arms forward like you're handing a tray. Wrap your right arm underneath, your left arm, underneath your right arm. Just eagle the arms or cross at your elbows and give yourself a bear hug. You're gonna step up, do your best into an eagle, wrapping your left thigh around your right. If the foot doesn't get around the calf, it's okay. Steer your hips towards the back skinny edge of the mat. Swing your knees and your elbows forward a little, so there's a straight line of energy. Sit heavy in the standing right leg, the heel is where the weight is. Fix your eyes and breathe. Squeeze a little tighter with the lower half of the body, unravel your arms towards the sky. Guide the left leg back into warrior one. Do your best, take a giant step back. If lower back is sensitive, you can pitch forward a little with your torso, and you don't have to be straight up and down. Bend heavy into the standing right thigh and peel your left ribs forward towards the front edge of the mat. Reach up with your arms and look up with your eyes. Hands to the floor, plank position. When you get to plank, either hold plank or hold push-up or supported push-up. Re-straighten your arms to plank position, hips up and back, downward facing. Land your left foot forward, big step, drop the back knee, be on your fingertips. So there's kind of a leading of your heart and chest. My back thigh's on a nice angle, and I always keep my toes curled into the mat. So you're gonna walk your hands in towards you, you're gonna round your spine. Yep, you're gonna round your spine and straighten out that left leg. Flex the toes, is gonna get a little more. You're gonna crawl your hands back forward and rebend the leg and lift the heart and chest like a little up dog. There you go. You're gonna walk the hands back, do it slow. And you're gonna fold and round into yourself. So scoop out your belly and round, flex the toes. You're gonna walk your hands forward, bend the knee, lead with your chest. So do it slow so you can really feel. Walk your hands back, flex the toes. Walk your hands forward, rebend, lift the heart. One more. Walk the hands back, flex and round. Walk the hands forward, rebend, lead with your chest. Integrate the back knee now. Squeeze the lower half of the body. Grip your left hip in strong. Come up, crescent lunge. Yeah, hip points move forward. Back leg is activated. You're heavy into that standing leg. Fix your eyes, open your chest, breathe here for a few good breaths. Quiet your mind and let the posture just do its work. Arms slide forward towards the front edge of the mat. Wrap the right arm underneath the left or just give yourself a squeeze. Step up into eagle, do the best that you can. Wrap the right thigh around, maybe the foot gets around the calf, maybe not. Heavy in that standing left leg as you sit. Steer your hips back. Swing your knees a little to the right. Yeah. Lift your heart and chest. Keep the weight in the standing left heel. Squeeze the lower half of the body a little bit more, then unravel just your arms. It's like chair with the upper half of the body. Unravel and guide your right leg back. Warrior one, do your best. Anchor the back foot. Steer the right ribs forward, get heavy in the standing left thigh. You could pitch forward a little if your lower back is sensitive. Arms straight up and down, look up with your eyes. Hands to frame your front foot. Vinyasa or right to a dog, you pick. Look to the top of the mat, step or float your feet there this morning. Long spine, keep the weight forward. Exhale, fold. Sit into your first chair pose, weight moves into your heels. You can have a little separation between your feet if that feels better for you. Stick your butt way back, lift your heart, lift your chest. Your arms are moving straight up and down, but if your arms having them straight doesn't feel good, you can cactus. Yes, find something that works. Make sure that you're not jerking your neck back. Press up to stand up, use your strength of your legs, drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. Here we go. From the top, arms slide straight up towards the sky, sit deep into chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let the weight pull you forward. Long spine to prepare you, step or float through your version of a vinyasa. So everyone's are gonna be a little different, and that's the cool thing. Up dog is smooth, press firm through the tops of the feet, hips up and back, down dog. The right foot lands, the back foot turns, set up for first warrior or crescent lunge if you're nursing an injury. Come on up. Hands come down to frame your front foot through a vinyasa or right to a dog and just reset your mind and your breath. Left foot lands on your own breath. Warrior one, come on up. Outer blade of your back foot is secure. Hands come down to frame your front foot, move through a vinyasa. Upward facing dog, press firm through your hands and the tops of the feet, hips up and back, downward facing dog. So if you're one of those that always rushes through these, see if you can slow it down just a little bit. If you're one that moves really, really slow, see if you could do the opposite. So just do a little tweak today. Look to the top of the mat, step or float your feet to the top. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again into chair, weight moves into your heels. So with that energy in your heels and your arms moving straight up, shoot up to stand up and then drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. We'll do one together. Let's keep going. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. Sit deep into chair. Dive over bent legs, forward fold. Let the head go. Come to the fingertips and prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. So my vinyasas these days are just push-ups. And then I ride back to a dog, I reset. The right foot lands when I'm ready, warrior one. So you move on your breath, your body count. And then back down you go. Through your vinyasa of choice. When you get back to your down dog, the left foot lands, the back foot turns, you come back up. The idea is just to keep moving and breathing. Hands come down when you are ready. Vinyasa of your liking. Meet in a down dog and you regroup. The arms stay super straight. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again into chair. Move the weight into your heels. Press up strongly to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Arms slide up. Anchor and sit, chair pose. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let the head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. Up dog, press firm through your hands and your feet. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns, keep it moving, warrior one. Back down we go through a vinyasa. Upward facing pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing. The left foot lands, the back foot turns. Warrior one. Back down we go, vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, full breath out. We're just gonna do one more. Yeah, look to the top of the mat, step or float your feet there. Long spine, keep the weight forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. Sit again into a chair pose. Weight moves into your heels. Yeah. Press up strongly to stand up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Or make this your best one, your boldest one. Arms stretch straight up towards the sky. Sit deep into chair pose. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Long spine to prepare. Step or float through a vinyasa. Some of you had a lot of coffee. Upward facing. Yes. Hips up and back, downward facing. Keep it rolling. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. So it's intended to be a little quicker. Hands come back down at your own count though. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, smooth. Hips up and back, down dog. The left foot lands, the back foot turns. Here we go. Back down you go. Vinyasa. Upward facing dog, point your toes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, breathe your right leg up, hip height. Pause there. Yeah, just hip height and flex your right toes. So when we do this, it's really important that your pelvis stays neutral. That's why I don't want you to open your hip. You got it, Jody. And then pay attention to your outer hips, hug them in, and your outer triceps, because you don't want your shoulders to open at all. Flex your back, right foot super strong. There you go. Breathe your right leg up a little bit higher. Now keep the lift of the leg and come forward to a three-legged plank. So you're going to come forward to a three-legged plank. There you go. So your right foot is just skimming the mat. So even like, you could even have it closer to the floor. So just skimming the mat. Lower halfway to a three-legged push-up. Re-straighten your arms to a three-legged plank. Without letting your right foot touch, lift your hips up and back, three-legged down dog. Lower the right foot down. Breathe your left leg up, lift it up, hip height. Pause here. Focus on plugging down through both your hands, your outer triceps gripping in, your right hip hugging in. Draw the navel to the back of the spine, fix your eyes, and just be patient. Come forward to a three-legged plank. So as you come forward, the foot just kind of hovers the mat. You lead with your chest. Halfway to a three-legged push-up. If you could try this is great. Re-straighten your arms to a three-legged plank position. Without letting your left foot touch, lift your hips up and back. Three-legged down dog. Lower the left foot down. Good. Drop to your forearms for dolphin pose. Yeah. Spread your palms wide. Dolphin pose. Good. Breathe your right leg up. Lower your right foot down. Breathe your left leg up. Lower your left leg down. Walk out to forearm plank. Yep. Forearm plank. Hug in. Lift your right foot an inch. Pause. Lower your right foot. Lift your left foot an inch. Pause. Lower the left foot. Breathe here. Lead with your chest a little. One hand at a time. Plank position. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Good work, guys. Exhale the breath out. Walk your hands back to your feet. Walk your hands back to your feet. So you're going to crawl to the back edge of the mat. Yeah, your feet are about hips width distance. Take your hands to your hips. Come halfway up. come the rest of the way up, okay? So you're at the back edge of your mat. I'm intending you to be there. That's fine, okay? So you're going to stand on your left leg and draw your right leg up into tree. Yeah, so use your hand to get your foot to the appropriate place. Then bring your hands to prayer. Fix your eyes, hug your hips in, and maybe grow the branches of your tree. Fix your eyes and just arrive. Stay with it. Stand up a little taller, lift from the side ribs, and grow those branches. So staying here for another moment. Bring your hands back down to prayer. Take your left hand to your hip, okay? You're gonna reach with your index and middle finger. You're gonna reach for your big toe. This is totally not in the game today. Just grab the side of your right leg like this. So you're gonna reach for the big toe and you're gonna extend your right leg out on an angle. So it's not forward, it's not straight out, it's just on an angle. Yes, but your knee can be bent. You can just be straight up and down with the knee bent and just the leg out on a little angle. Contract the thigh. Now, with your left hand, you can extend it straight out to the side, or your hand can just stay on your hip. Stand up a little taller. Swing your leg straight forward and change the grip. The hand's gonna come to the outside of your foot or the outside of your knee, and you're gonna swing your right leg, your right arm straight back. So you're moving into a dancing Shiva here. Standing left leg must be straight, right? The leg that's forward, the right leg, kind of has as much bend to it as it needs. Yeah. And if you fall from the pose, it is okay. See if you can look back into that right hand. There you go. Nice, Holly. Good. Pull around to center. Arms up, leg up. Arms up, leg up. Lift the core. Lower the right foot down, sit into chair at the back edge of your mat. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale your breath, hook the elbow, twist to the right. Keep two knees as close together as you can. Weight in your heels. Shins drawing back. Yeah, if something's sensitive in the lower back or your upper torso, you can just air twist. You can just stay a little more upright. You don't have to hook in there. The goal is to have the weight in the standing heels though. Get a little heavier in your legs as you get in there. Open up your arms if you want a little more. Or just stay as you are. This looks great. Nice work, Katie. Beautiful, Kristen. Pull around to chair. Strong in your legs, look forward, fierce chair pose. No angry chair pose. Shoot up to stand up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Just stand for a second, guys. Good work. So separate your feet a little because it helps. Yeah, stand on your right leg now and bend your left leg up into tree. Left leg. If you did the wrong side, obviously don't repeat the same side. Just move on to the side you didn't do. So tree, majority of us are left leg bent. Grow the branches when you're ready. Focus on gripping your hips under you. Yeah. And then stand up tall. Fix your eyes and just make a connection. A little longer. Bring your hands to prayer, pause. Right hand to your hip, take your left hand, peace finger and middle finger, reach down for your big toe or just simply slide your hand to the inside of your knee. Grab the big toe, lift the leg up and extend it out on an angle. So you can just go on an angle. You don't want to swing the hip wide open, just on an angle. Right, stand up tall. Right arm can reach out towards the side or hand can stay on your hip. This can totally be done with a bent knee, like I'm demonstrating here. Stand up really tall though. Breathe your chest open. So envision yourself, this is essentially triangle standing up. That's all that we're doing. Swing the leg forward. If the leg is straight, switch the grip. So as you switch the grip, the leg moving forward can be bent. Leg can be bent in half, or it can be straight out. Grab the outside of your foot. Breathe your left arm back. Stand up really tall and see if you can look into your left hand. Standing right leg must be straight. The left leg can have as much bend as you need. Twist open. Twist a little more. Pull around to center. Leg up, arms up. See if you can straighten out your leg. Lift it a little higher. Reach the arms a little higher. Keep the arms going up. Lower the left foot down. Sit deep into chair. Slide your hands to prayer. Inhale your breath. Hook the elbow. Twist to the left. Two knees lining up. Shins lining up. Feet lining up. Get in there. Drop your seat as low as you can. Look sideways or look up is the goal. Nice work, guys. Give it a little more juice. I know it's not the most forgiving pose. They say it's good for you. Breathe yourself open. Strong legs, chair pose. Strong legs, chair pose. Sit a little deeper. You got this. Dive over, bend knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Plant your hands to the floor. If the feet are together, separate them hips width distance. Anchor your feet and walk yourself very slowly out to a down dog. Very slowly out to a down dog. See how long you can keep your feet rooted. Yes, when you arrive back to your down dog, just check in with the length of your dog. Roll forward to plank here. Yeah, because a lot of times it's not as wide as we think. Good. Lower halfway to a push-up chaturanga. Drop your knees if you need support. Pull yourself through an up dog or cobra. If you're skipping up dog or cobra, you just go right back. Downward facing dog is where we meet. Roll forward to plank position. Take your right knee, draw it in, and then let it drift over toward the inside of your left arm. So you're kind of doing a crisscross here. So you're in a plank and you're taking your right knee towards your left arm on the inside. Slide the right leg open, come into fallen triangle. It's like a side plank with split legs. Left leg is kind of set up like it's in a warrior two. The right leg is out on an angle. You're stacking your shoulders. If this doesn't work for you this morning, just drop down to your right knee and take a supported side plank. Lift from your bottom hip. There you go. If you feel all jazzed up, the leg that's moving forward, so that right leg, you can work on lifting it, floating it an inch from the ground. Good luck. I see a couple toes in the air. Lower the foot back down. Take the top arm to a plank position. So you're going to come to plank and you're going to hug your right knee back in towards the center this time. So you're in plank with your right knee drawing in, your arms are straight up and down. This is great. Look forward with your eyes, land your right foot smack in between your two hands. Stay low to the ground. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Grab anywhere in the front of your right shin or utilize a block. We're going to triangle. Peel your left arm open. If for some reason that didn't work for you this morning, reset the pose and find Srikanasana, triangle pose. Back legs on a strong angle. Side ribs are long. I find it awesome to get in that way. It feels really good. Pull up anywhere on the front of that right shin so you're not dumping down. Breathe your collarbone and your chest open. The sensation is leaning back a little bit, but by all means not going into your low back. Grip the outer hips in. So the shape of your body is going to remain as it is. Look down, float to half moon. Personally, I bring my hand to my hip just to find balance, and then I move my way forward, and the transition is pretty seamless. Then I can regrow my left arm towards the sky. The left leg is lifted, hip height. Flex the left toes. Side ribs turn, gaze looks up. Balance, breath, and stability is what we're looking for here. Right foot is forward, not turning in. Work on anything here that feels like you want to add in. Chokasana, balancing to less fingers, or just breathing and holding and maintaining. Soften behind your right knee. That may help a lot of you with keeping the balance. Good, 2 more breaths. Stepping back to warrior two, guys. Warrior two. So transition right back, warrior two. Take a really big step, warrior two. Breathe your collarbone open. Lengthen your tailbone. 5 breaths holding here, maintain stability, focus, and concentration. Just use the inhale and use the exhale to ride it out. Stay with me, guys. We're adding on a little here, a little different. Keep the shape of your legs, drop your arms. Clasp your hands behind your back if this is available to you, okay? So we're gonna take a humble warrior, but a little different. You're gonna keep your hips open, okay? So it's gonna look like this. You're gonna fold straight down and drop your hands. Stick your right hip back a little and get in there, let your head go. For some reason this doesn't work for you this morning, just place your hands down like this and fold. Yeah. So I'm kind of going on an angle. Yeah. Gripping that right hip in and letting my hands down drop. 2 more breaths. Good, you're gonna release the hands directly down underneath you. Take a block to the instep of the foot. Set up for B variation right here. You're already low to the ground. Right hand down, left arm peels open. If you need to bump your arm onto the top of your thigh, such as I'm demonstrating, this is the option. Yeah. Moving into a half bind. Wrap the left hand behind you. If you want to go for a full bind this morning, it's a lift and a lean back. If you feel like you want to move into a birds of paradise, you're welcome to do so this morning. So birds of paradise would be standing on your left leg, drawing your right leg up. With the bind on the inside, you'll extend your right leg out to the side. Lean back with your torso, everybody. If you went to birds, lower the right foot slow. You got to step back into that bound warrior two where we're meeting everybody. Yeah. Right hand down, left arm peels. Pull up warrior two, straighten it out. Take it to the floor, Vinyasa. Move through your Vinyasa, up dog, downward facing dog. From your down dog, roll forward to plank. Take your left knee and take it to the inside of that right arm. So across the body. And then straighten out the leg into fallen triangle. So it's like a side plank with your legs split. See how you did with that. Modify the side plank if that doesn't work for you. Work on floating that foot, that left foot up away from the floor if you want to work a little more. That's like totally not in the cards for some of us. And that's okay. Yeah, I see a couple little toesies in there. Lift from your bottom hip through your top hip. Spread your collarbone. Keep the breath flowing. This looks great. Release the foot slow to the floor and then look down. Both hands come to a plank and you hug your left knee straight in. So you kind of have to even it out before we move on. Look forward with your eyes. Land your left foot smack in between your hands. Don't come up. You're going to stay low to the floor. Set your left foot up and straighten out your right leg. Triangle, Srikanasana, from the ground up. Peel yourself open. Back leg super strong. Front leg can have as much bend. Utilize a block, guys, if you need it. Side ribs turn. Look up with your eyes. And then once you find the pose, take a few really good breaths and just catch some stillness. Now that we found this beautiful pose, you're going to look down and float seamlessly to half moon. Grip your left hip in strong. Utilize the block. I go on the highest setting, but any setting works. Right leg lifts, hip height. Stack the 2 arms. Look up with your eyes. Spark up your right toes. Find some side body extension. If you fall from the posture, just try again. Right hip gripping in, and left hip gripping in. Both hips are strong. Keep that left foot forward. Yeah. 2 more breaths. Transition slow, warrior two. Do the best that you can, warrior two. Take a moment to iron it out, wrap the left thigh open, breathe your collarbone open, lengthen the tailbone. Yeah, and then close your eyes, 5 breaths here, just maintain stability. Drop down into it. Side ribs stay nice and long. Left thigh continues to wrap open. Drop your arms down by your side body. Interlace your hands. If you could remember the grip, switch it up. Inhale your breath, lift your heart and chest. Exhale, you're kind of going on an angle to the left. You're gripping your left hip in, but your butt kind of has to go out a little to get in there. So it's not going to stay tucked. Anchor the right leg and fold. Maybe the bound hands drop. Maybe you just need to dump the bind and have the hands down on the floor. This is another alternative. Unravel the hands, take them down as I'm demonstrating directly on the instep. Reach for a block or go directly to the floor. Left palm goes flat, right arm peels open. Right into your extended side angle B. Rip your left hip in, use the back of your tricep to press up against the inside of the left leg. And then from here we add in half bind, full bind. See how you're all doing. Lean back a little. Yes. If you did birds on the other side and you want to give it a try, yeah, you're going to press up onto that right leg and the left leg is going to come up half bound. Give it a try. Yes. I've got one side that's always better. Yeah, it's okay. And then extend the leg out on an angle. If you're just in the regular ordeal here, lean back a little and open up your collarbone and chest. Nice work. If you went into bird, see if you can step out slowly. That's the hardest part. Left palm down, right arm up, everybody. Top arm and back leg pulls you up, warrior two. Never been so happy to get out. Look to the floor, circle it down, Vinyasa. Upward facing dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good, look to the top of the mat. Step or float your feet there. Last little sequence. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold. Hands to your hips. Yeah, come up halfway, come the rest of the way up standing. Have your blocks at the top of the mat. Okay, separate your feet, hips width distance. Take your hands to your hips. Right foot's gonna stay, left leg's just gonna drift back about 3 feet. Like a little short warrior one. Right hand on your hip, left arm extends up towards the sky. Inhale that breath, come halfway down, come the rest of the way down into twisting triangle. Stack yourself up here. So this is a challenging flow, but we get to this posture and it should feel like you should be able to do it or some variation of it. Done a lot of opening of the shoulders and the hamstrings. So make the pose work for you. Use blocks to elevate your hand so your shoulder doesn't roll in. And maybe back out of the top arm being up towards the sky if it still feels crunchy. Grip your hips in super strong here. Yeah. You want to feel like someone's got you by your hips. They're pulling them towards the back of the mat. The rest of the body is moving forward and you're able to open the torso a little. So you have 2 options. You can stay with twisting triangle and just make it a little bit of a longer hold, or you can look down, move the block out in front of you and pop the back leg up into revolved Ardha Chandrasana. So it's totally your choice here for another few breaths. So staying in a longer twisting triangle is great, or the block moves forward and the back leg lifts, you're in a revolved Ardha. Hand can just stay on that sacrum. Spine is nice and long, back foot is flexed, how we practiced in that warrior, that down dog before. Maybe the right arm opens and you twist, but you have to hug both your hips in strong and lift from your inner left thigh. Look sideways or look up. Another big breath in. Both hands come down. If you're just in a twisting triangle, you're just going to step your foot back. Everyone else is going to take a giant step back. Come up to Crescent Lunge. This is where we'll meet. Hands come to prayer. Inhale the breath. Lean out, hook the elbow, and twist to the right. Easy twist is always an option. For a lot of us, this just works better. So always know that that is available. Dropping your back knee is available. The practice is about listening to what your body needs. Grip your right hip in strong. Activate your back left leg muscles, your quadricep, your glute, and all the muscles around that back left kneecap. Twist open. Two more. It gets good. It gets juicy. Hands to frame your front foot. Drop your back knee. I'm going to drag my block with me because I know I'm going to need it. And I haven't taught this pose in so long, but guess where we're going? Hanumanasana, split foot pose. So if you can slide your right leg all the way forward, I'll show you what I do. This is like as far as I can go in a split. Right, some of you are great in splits. Take a block underneath your right butt cheek, sit down on it. My left leg is going to stay bent, and I'm going to take a half split, and I'm not going to beat myself up. Inhale the breath, and exhale, I'll come forward. Let me see if there's anyone in the real deal not looking tortured. No, we look pretty tortured. Yeah, I'm not going to spotlight any of you because you're looking pretty Ms. Yeah, half split. Definitely go half split for a lot of you. Yes, it's okay. Breathe. Just breathe into the hamstring. Maria, I can't see because you're wearing black pants, but just make sure your two knees are touching each other. And when you're sitting on the block, it's underneath your right butt cheek. Yeah, you're good to go. And then the hinge forward may be an inch. It may be more in the mind. Okay, so now after all that, we have to get out. Step back to a down dog. There's no graceful way. Oh, Katie wasn't miserable. She was very happy. Yes, down dog. Look to the top of the mat. Step or float your feet there. One last time today. Long spine weight is forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. Hands to your hips. Come halfway up. Come the rest of the way up the top of the mat. Bring your blocks with you. You know you're going to need them. Left foot is the grounded leg. Right leg steps back. Twisting triangles where we're starting. Left hand on hip. Right arm extends up. Halfway down. Steer your hips back. Rest of the way down. Hand on that block. Steer the hips towards the back edge of the mat. Keep the spine nice and long. Look sideways or look up. The left arm can stack open. Yeah, nice work. Nice alignment, Dara. Looks really good. There's a hugging in of your hips. The hand can just stay on your sacrum. So if you know this is it for you today, I really love this pose. It's one of my favorites. You can just stay here and breathe and be happy. If you're ready to move on for the revolved, just the block needs to shift out in front of you a little, and then the back leg is going to lift up. The right leg will lift, but you're lifting from the inner thigh. And for a lot of us, the hand on the sacrum really works the best. The second the arm goes up, we have a tendency to kind of lose the shape of the pose. So less is more. Make sure the block ream is not too far forward. It's hard to tell from the angle. Bring it a little closer to you, maybe easier. Side body opens. Look sideways or look up. Jody, try pointing your toe and see if that could activate your hamstring. There you go. Don't open the hip. Lift from your inner thigh. Twist open. Look to the floor, take both hands down. Take a giant step back if you're in revolved Ardha. If you're in a twisting triangle, just hands to the floor, widen the stance. Bend deep into that front thigh, come up crescent lunge. Yeah. Find your balance before you move on to the next thing. Take your time. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Inhale that breath, hook the elbow, lean out and twist. So as you twist towards the left now, the right elbow gets in there. Or your hand can come down and you can go into an easy twist. You could use a block too. It could look like this. Good. Your knee could be down. You could be modifying the whole ordeal. Yeah. Back leg is strong. Hips grip in. You want to feel like you're leaning back a little. Get the crown of the head to line up with that back heel. And then the back leg, that right leg is like a strong plank. Stay with it. Twist open a drop more. And then look to the floor, place both hands down, pause. Drop your back knee. You're going to set up for your variation of Hanumanasana split pose. Most of us drag the block with us. It's going to go underneath that left butt cheek. You're going to sit back. So you're not sitting on your right foot, guys. You're going to sit right next to it. Yeah, the block is going to support you, and then you'll fold. Maybe you just stay upright today. You just breathe and you flex your foot. It's kind of like a half dandasana. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe you're able to work a little forward. Maybe you're going for the full split Hanumanasana pose. Wherever you are, you're not getting pissed off about it. Right. It's just, this is what it is. You're happy, you're moving, you're breathing, and you're doing. Coming out is careful. Careful movement, downward facing dog. Step back, down dog. Once you get to your down dog, just roll forward one last time. Tracy, your hair looks so good. I saw the ceiling the whole time. Plank position. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing pulls you through. Don't hide your hair when you get a good hair day. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Slide your right knee forward for a half pigeon. Let's just go right here. 30 seconds on this side, half pigeon. Let yourself melt into the pose. For some reason, this is not working for you today. You can always go on your back into ankle to knee. You just move to the other side. Just curl the toes, slide back, and then just switch the leg. And let yourself just fold. Good. You're going to use the strength of your body. Press yourself up. Lean onto the left side. Swing your right leg around. Most of us have blocks. You bring them with you and lay down. Set your feet up like this. Fingertips skim the backs of the heels. Inhale the breath. Exhale, lift up. Bridge or wheel. If you're ready to go for a full wheel, we did a lot of shoulder opening today. Stuff. You may be able just to flip your palms and go right for it. I mean, that was a lifetime ago for me. Right. It's okay. Steer your feet forward, your thighs forward, and lift. So the lift isn't jamming into your SI joint, guys. It's lifting from the tailbone to the backs of the knees. That's where you're creating the space. Start to come down on the exhale breath. Tuck your chin, lower down. Good. If you have a block, slide it underneath your low back, your sacrum area. Yeah, lift your tailbone up and slide a block underneath. Now, the highest setting that you go is where you're going to get the most back bend, right? So you're in a bridge with the block really high underneath you. It's not digging into your lower back. It's kind of on that little sacrum area. Then clasp your hands around the block. Yes, your arms are bound around the block. That's the back bend number one, right there. Then if you'd like, you can lift the legs up. One leg and then the other leg. Flex the feet. So just so you know, my strap is somewhere. I don't know where it is, but if you had a strap and you took it around the base of your feet and you held on it right now, this is a great restorative pose that you could stand for like a good 3-4 minutes. That's going to really transfer and move lactic acid out of the body. Okay. We don't have 3 or 4 minutes. Well, we always have 3 or 4 minutes, but focus on keeping the legs straight up and down. Close your eyes for a few moments. Yeah. And if you don't have a block for some reason, just go with your back flat on the ground and the legs straight up. Or you can go to a wall and the legs can go up the wall. Now, the longer you hold your legs up, the more results we'll have. To get out of the pose, bend both your legs in half, one foot, and then the other foot lowers to the ground. Lift your hips an inch from the block, remove the block, and slowly lower your lower back to the ground. Hug your knees towards your navel, give them a big squeeze in. Reach for the outer blades of your feet and pull your knees down around your ribs for happy baby. Spread your lower back across the mat. Good. Come back to center. Wrap your right thigh just over your left. Shimmy your hips to the right and drop your knees over to the left. So it's kind of like a crisscross eagle supine twist. Look to the right. Use your left hand to encourage this right thigh to drop a little closer to the floor. Roll up to center. Unravel. Wrap the left thigh over the right. Don't worry about crossing the ankles. Shimmy your hips an inch to the left and then drop your knees to the right. Use your right hand to encourage your left thigh. Spread your left arm across the mat so the shoulder stays rooted and connected. Come up to center, unravel and squeeze your knees tightly in. Make yourself like a deep ball. Bring your eyes into your knees. Reach your arms forward like a tight ball. Hug in tight. On the exhale breath, we're going to hover everything for 5 breaths from the ground. You pick what works. Hovering everything with the arms back and the legs forward is the most intense. Arms forward and legs straight up is another option, but hold and hover for 5. Lower back spreads for 4. Breathe deep into your core for 3, for 2, and 1. Relax. Set up for rest, Shavasana. Use blocks, use props, use towels, put your bathrobe on, cover your eyes, throw your phone across the room. For the next 2 minutes, complete and utter stillness and silence if you can. Start to pull yourself back. Take a deep breath in. Take a full, complete exhale breath out. Reach your arms up over the top of the head. Reach towards the back edge of your mat. Hug your knees deeply in towards your chest. Give them a giant squeeze. And find your way up to a seated position this morning where you can just sit and be still for a moment. Let the shoulders draw down the back. This practice is amazing. It is truly a gift. Thank yourselves for it. Bring the hands to prayer. Bow your head. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, guys. Stay safe in the ice storm, whatever's happening here in New Jersey. And we'll go again next week. Wednesday and Friday will be Zoom. Thursday will be in person. Hope to see you.